I hear the call of the wild in every shadow, every star, pulling me further from the fences, past every rusted gate and scar. I feel the call of a row in my marrow, in my mind. If I follow, I'm not lost, I'm finally alive. Oh, the call of the wild.
Welcome to where I call home. I've been roaming these parts since I was old enough to, well, roam. There isn't a mountain or lake out here that hasn't been explored by either me or my dad. I hope that you get a chance to fall in love with Silver Ridge Peaks. If you're anything like me, it won't take long.
Hello, and welcome to a new game series. Hunter, Call of the
morning.
Wilds.
I hope you got a chance to grab a big breakfast before heading out. There's a lot of ground to cover and it's tough on an empty stomach.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sure you'll be glad to know that I already have a job for you. While things are quiet, I've been using our outpost to store essential supplies. There is an outpost not far from you that has a small stockpile of bottled water and canned goods.
Okay.
I need you to grab some things from this outpost and ferry them over to one of our observation towers. Don't worry, it's not a long journey. You'll be back to hunting in no time.
Okay.
Before now, we've always just used the lakes for drinking water. But ever since Dad got ill, we've had to put emergency measures in place.
Okay. Can I?
We always had emergency supplies, of course. But now we need to account for the possibility that our entire water table is polluted. Dad and I are convinced that it's just the one lake, polluted by the old mining sump next to it. But it's taking forever to get tests done, and it's not worth the chance of someone else getting sick.
Okay. Can I speak now? Apparently I can. Well, hello and welcome to a new game series. Hunter Call of the Wild. I bought this game from a Humble Bundle pack. If you're not familiar with Humble Bundle, it is a website where you can actually buy bundles of games, books, or software for ridiculously low prices. Most of these actually are for you can actually buy these, and then most of the money goes to charity events. This the amount of games you can find on their sites is not that extremely big, but sometimes you can find real gems. And I discovered this game, Hunter Call of the Wild, with a lot of DLCs attached to it. I did a quick check if the game would run on my PC, and to my surprise, it did with some minor tweaking. I do see, however, on the live stream that it's called American Truck Simulator. I do not know why that is. I thought I changed the title. Apparently I did not, or did not do it correctly. Well, anywho, so Hunter Call of the Wild. What is this game? Well, if the title suggests, it is a game where you can actually do some hunting. There are several biodomes where you can actually go to. Oops, sorry. And I choose this one, Silver Ridge Peak. And there are also some storylines, and you just heard the guy on the phone, Alan Bradley, giving me some missions to do. As you can also see, there is these white spots over here, and we'll come back to that later. So in this game, it is a simulation. You can actually hunt, but you can also use binoculars. And oh, talking about binoculars, if I press my wheel, I can actually change binoculars, and I can zoom in, and there are actually some bisons walking around. Are these dangerous? I do not know, but we better be careful. We also can hear a few things. See, if I track the animal call, I was a bit late for that. Okay. We can see it's a mule deer and it was fleeing. Now these white spots on the ground are animal tracks. I can examine them. And this is also, this is the pronghorn eating. So what does this help? It helps us to know that in this particular area, we can find that particular creature around a particular time of day while it's eating. And that could be useful, of course, when you're going to try hunting those creatures. As you can see, hold on, these tracks are blue, which means I just checked these tracks out. These tracks are still white, which means I haven't checked these out. So let's examine these. And here they are walking. We can actually hear sounds. So if I listen, it is a mule deer again. It's a warning call. Probably warning others that I am around. Yeah, whatever. So, as you just heard from Alan Bradley, he gave me a few tips or things to do. And one of those things is go to the outpost over there, which is marked with that orange arrow, as you can see, and pick up a few supplies and water bottles. So I will do so. So while we're walking here through this forest area, we can hear several creatures around. Let's take a look at our interface. So if you take a look on the lower right, we can see a compass. So I am now heading westwards. If you look directly to the right of there, you can see that I'm holding my phone, and yes, I am talking to the right, so I'm holding the phone. Below that, we can see a heart pumping. That is my stamina, which has now become just red because I am, believe it or not, running. The dot in the between the heart and the speaker is an eye symbol, which means as it is now, I am barely visible for creatures. If I am walking, it is fully round. Creatures can see me. Now if I go, hold on, if I go, hold on. If I go prone, creatures should not be able to see me. I'm not going to crawl all the way to the outpost, but whatever. And the symbol, which looks like a speaker all the way to the right, is of course, can creatures hear me? So if you want to come closer to a creature, you should A, take care of not being heard, B, not being seen, and the compass also gives us a green indication. That is the indication where the wind is blowing to. At least that's what I think it is. Which means if you want to advance to a creature, and if you crawl towards the green area, the wind is blowing your scent towards the creature, which is not a good thing. So you should also always try, at least I haven't played this game that often. I think that's what it means. I think this means my scent is now blowing forward towards the creature. If I turn it like so, the wind should now be blowing in my face, which means that any creature which is now in front of me is not going to smell me. And is that important? Well, what we have over here, believe it or not, is basin droppings or poop. So that is also a things to examine, because then we know, well, the bisons are coming through here and pooping here. But as I just saw, oops, sorry. If I just saw, hold on, I'm pressing the wrong button. These droppings are very old, which means the bisons have been passing here long ago. So if you want to follow a creature and you see droppings which are very old, we know, well, we're not really following them. You can see more tracks emerging in the ground, so let's examine these as well. The plain bison, they were trotting. We know that because we just saw those bisons walking past. Apparently, when that dropping we just saw is old, that might mean, of course, that the bisons keep walking past here. So, as I said, I'm running. We can change that if I just press my left stick. And now we are walking, which means we are going
This is the
forward.
place. The supplies should be laid out, ready for you to pick them up. We need at least 6 water bottles, a couple of cans of peaches or whatever we've got there. And there should be a stack of flyers. Grab them too.
And here we see another dropping from the bison, but these are fresh, and that's correct because we just saw those bisons. Here we can see the footprints of those bisons. We just saw those bisons. So if we know that these droppings here are fresh and the droppings we just passed are old, that means this is a area where bisons normally walk. So that is something we can work with. And if we go to our map, this is the area where we are currently. So this is the entire map of the district we are in, the Silver Peaks Mountain, and we are currently in the district Lake Prospect. We are here, and this is where we just emerged from. You can see over here. So this is the path we just took towards this house. It's a very large map to explore. So that's what we're doing in this game. We are first, of course, setting up our outposts and our lookout towers and getting the nose of this land. And later we can use this to make photographs of creatures or actually hunt those creatures. And if you give me a few seconds, I will show you exactly what I mean. First of all, we need to claim this outpost, which we just did. And he's gonna say something or not? Not quick. No, apparently not. Now, there is a cache appeared just outside. Sometimes it's inside, and in this case it's outside. If we access this cache, we can buy additional rifles. We have a few rifles with us, but we can of course increase our rifles by buying better ones. We can build. Hold on. We can. Hold on. We can buy different kind of handguns, shotguns, and later we're gonna learn what creatures, or let me rephrase that, what kind of guns and ammo is the best for a particular kind of creature. We can learn that by doing. We can also use some sort of a encyclopedia in the game. We also have bows, which of course have the advantage of not making any sound. Here we have different kinds of ammo we can buy for the rifle, the handgun, the shotgun, and of course the arrows. Different kinds of sights for our rifles and our handguns. Lures, which we can use to lure creatures. Same for scents and decoys. Consumables, first aid kit, scent eliminator, which apparently we already have, and dog biscuits. Why dog biscuits? Well, I'll come back to that later. Different kind of clothing. Um, not great because our character doesn't look that great from a third person. So, but we can actually buy different different clothing. I'm not quite sure, by the way, if these. No, here it says your choice of clothing does not affect how well animals can detect you. We can buy different backpacks, but apparently your choice of backpacks does affect how well wildlife can detect you. So we have to investigate, of course, on that. Binoculars, we can buy better binoculars. Tents, we can buy. Ground blinds, layout blinds, waterfowl blinds, tree stands, tripod stands. That's it for our store, but we can also use the storage. Let's say we can store things in here. We can change our character, which we're not going to do. We have a trophy manager, a garage. Yes, we have. Oh, sorry, that was not what I intended to do. I was actually wanted to show the garage. We can actually get ourselves a 4x4. These are actually the DLCs, but as I said, we bought a number of DLCs, so we can already get a car, which will get us to locations faster. Unfortunately, of course, it makes a lot of noise, so it's not very useful if we want to do hunting. And a kennel. We can actually get ourselves a dog. We can choose a German Shorthaired Pointer. We can get a Bloodhound or a Labrador. We can change its sex. And we can change its color. I don't think that... Hey, wait a minute. It says that you do not own the required DLC. Why do I not... I do own the DLC. That's weird. I thought I already had a dog. Hold up. What's going on here? This is odd. Oh, I can buy a Bloodhound or a Greyhound Pointer, but I cannot buy the... Hold on. Oh, I do not... I cannot get a Labrador Retriever. Okay, so apparently I do not have all the types. So that's in the nutshell the game. So the guy asked me to get inside and get me the water bottles, some supplies, and some leaflets. So let's get inside. Here we have the leaflets.
You got everything? Fantastic. The tower isn't too far to go from here.
There's also a bed where you can actually sleep, and the reason why you can sleep is because sometimes you want to wait for particular animals to arrive at dawn or at night. And we can, of course, stay outside and wait until the sun goes down, or we can simply go to bed and wait until the sun goes down while we're sleeping. So our next objective is going to get these two in lookout point. And let's see, where is the lookout point? We haven't... It should be on our map somewhere. I mean, oh, is that the lookout point? That's odd. Let me get the map quickly. Map. Wait, what was our mission? Reach the lookout tower. Okay. So let's get to the map. Which lookout tower are you referring to? This lookout tower, apparently. Oh, you see, the confusion I have is because I thought that we had that lookout tower as an indicator on the map. Place the waypoint. Okay, well, we placed the waypoint ourselves then. And the lookout tower is over there, 673 meters. Yes, you can switch, of course, to miles, but I'm European and I'm not going to use miles. So, we... Oh, hello, I hear something. That is a different sound. That is a turkey. Oh, I think I can see the turkey actually over there. It's yep. Well, it's not a UFO. It's most likely the turkey. Now I could of course use binoculars, but now it's too far away. So we'll let it fly. Anyway, we need to go to the lookout tower. As I was saying, we can of course use the car to get over there. But then we're gonna miss things like the animal tracks. We're gonna miss the sounds. And we're also gonna miss a lot of the environment. Because I have actually put the game currently on almost the maximum my PC can actually handle. And that is quite high to my surprise. When I started the game up, it looked very jittery. I've then reduced the graphics to almost non-existent, and then slowly marked the graphics back up to medium and then maximum. And to my surprise, it actually handled quite well. My PC isn't the youngest. It is not the slowest, but it is most definitely not a super A high-end game. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up. I just... Not only do I hear something, I can actually see him now. A mule deer. Oh. Yes, I have a gun with me. Yes, I can shoot him. No, I will not at the moment. We just heard him. And I just saw him as well. Another one. He is very close, according to the sound. He's probably around these bushes or somewhere, or on or near the path. Regarding that smell indicator on the compass, which I was talking about, I have to look that up. I'm not quite sure if I was correct in what I just said, but seeing that that mule deer was not reacting to me, I think I was correct in what I just said. That the green arrow is suggesting the way the wind is blowing to, not where the wind is blowing from. As I said, these things are important, of course, if you want to go actual hunting an animal. And I heard something. I heard some rustling. And I hear it again. Something is rustling in the woods, and it's not me. But I not got an indication on the tutorial. But, okay. Now there probably are some paths that lead towards this tower, but I'm going to go through the forest in a straight line. Otherwise it's going to take extremely long. And yes, I can walk, but then... Sorry, I can run, but then it's going to get me exhausted. I'm not quite sure if there is any negatives on that. If you can actually have negatives on being exhausted. So, is this game going to be fun for me streaming in the future? I'm not sure. I think it might. In the beginning we are going, of course, doing this tutorial sequence. Okay, I think this means that it's walking this way. That's the plain bisons again. But I think that when the tutorials are over and we can actually go on a real hunt, we are going to it's going to be much more pleasant to look at, to stream this game. Because there is also the point, of course, not only what animals do you hunt, but also trying to get the best animal and the best hunt. You can actually sell the trophies, and with the money you earn from selling these trophies, you can actually buy better gear, which I just showed you. You can actually buy. There's also another plus, and that is something I have to investigate later. There is actually a multiplayer option in this game, which means you can actually go on hunt together. Not hunting other hunters, although it's possible. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it is possible to hunt other hunters, but you can actually go on a hunt together. So we could do that in the future as well. Although I have heard that there are some. It's quite difficult to get a good hunting party online. So that's something we need to figure out in the near future. There are several biomes we can actually explore. I've now chosen the Silver Peaks, which is, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere near the Rocky Mountains. Although I have to investigate that. But we just saw the bison, so I think this is near Rocky Mountains. There are also biomes in Africa, in Australia, in Mississippi, and in Europe. All of those biomes have their own particular animals, and they all have their particular storyline. I'm not quite sure how long the storyline will continue on in each biome, but it's also a tutorial kind of help, so you can actually get acquainted with the game and its surroundings, and of course the controls. There are several techniques in hunting which I've looked online on YouTube for other players. They are giving me tips and so forth. That's all things we have to deal with later. I think we can put down the binoculars. We're going now straight through the forest. I don't think we're going to need those binoculars right here. We are making a lot of sound, of course, because we're walking through the brushes. As you can see on the upper right, that the speaker symbol is fully lit and sometimes actually turns red. Let me show you by trying to walk through or straight through a shrubbery. You can see it turns red, which means I'm making a lot of noise. So if there are any animals around, they have long now scampered. It's not a new game, Hunt to Call of the Wild. It's, I believe it's around 3 years. I have to check that out, how old it is. Which of course might explain why my computer has no real trouble running the game. Which is a plus for me. Because I had feared that this game would be too much for my poor computer, but it works great. It is at 190 by 180 the resolution. You can go to 4K, but then the game really struggles to a point where it's unplayable. Talking about unplayable, I think I am now about to try to go up a unmountable cliffside. Let's see if I can use the Skyrim technique by simply zigzagging up. Maybe I can reach the top anyway if I go through the grass. As I said, there most likely there are paths that you can use, but we are 50 meters away from our designated area. At least I think this is the area where we're supposed to be going. This is the only outpost, or sorry, the only lookout tower I could see from my vantage point from the outpost. Well, we'll soon find out if the...
You found the tower. There's
Oh.
hopefully a free shelf inside, somewhere you can stash the supplies. Oh, you should hang on to a couple of the flyers, though.
We are all alone in the area, apart from the animals, of course. There are no other humans around. I'm not quite sure if there is a storyline where we actually have to deal with other hunters or bad people. There's a fence around it. Is there an entrance? It's probably on the other side. We can, of course, jump. We can jump over the fence, see? But there was a clear way over here. Oh, hello. So now we have a different vantage point on the other side of the hill. Well, this looks like the Rockies to me. Not quite sure, but... well, good question. Where exactly? Let's see. Mission logs, challenges. Can I see where I am currently? Hold up. Hold up. Oh, here we are. Silver Ridge Peaks. Yes, the Southern Rocky Mountains. Here we have the map, by the way, of all the locations we can visit, all the DLCs. As I have not got all the DLCs, like Solwiesen Park in Germany. That one I have. Australia I have. New England, which is one? The Baltic Sea, yes. Mississippi Reserve, that is in, of course, in the Mississippi. We have Rancho El Arroyo, Silver Ridge Peaks, where I am now. Yukon Valley, Parque Ferrando, which is in the lower tip of South America. This is in the savannah in Africa. There are actually, oh, I just saw there are years underneath. So savannah is 2018, Layton Lake is 2003. That it could be the actual year on which that particular DLC was made. So it is quite an old game. Hirschfeld is in Germany, or actually Central Europe, 2003. These are not download DLCs I do not have. So this is 2025. This is in Scotland. This is in Central America, also in the Rocky Mountains. This is in India, as it would seem. Interesting. Let's see, what have we have more? This is New Zealand. Is there a year? No, there's no year. Cuatro Colunas, that is in... Oh, I was saying Portugal, but it is in Spain. Medved Taiga National Park, that is in Russia. And that's it. So there are a few DLCs I do not have. And apparently the newest DLC is Scotland. Now, if I'm going to buy these DLCs, I'm not sure. That depends, of course, if I like the game well enough and if you like the game well enough. Well, anyway, let's get back to where we were. We were over here indeed near the Rocky Mountains, Silver Ridge Peak. And we need to go up all the way to the top of this tower. There's no elevator. Included in the DLC is also, if I'm not mistaken, a rather extensive lodge, a house where you can actually, which you can purchase, or in this case, the DLC I've already have that house, where you can decorate the house with all your trophies and other things you can buy for the house, which is different from outposts. Outposts are actually for tourists and for hunters. The lodge is your personal house. So here we can actually have a view over the area from this particular area. There are more of these outposts along the map. I'm not quite sure, by the way, if there is a fast travel option between those outposts, or does that mean we have to actually walk any time we have to go there or use the car. And we have a map of the area where we are currently are. Oh, survey. So let's push that button. And there we are. We get XP for that, and there are new locations added to the map. And I will show you that later on. But I think the guy is going to say... Oh, here we are. So now we can actually see that this is the outpost we just were. And there's another outpost over there, as you can see. So we can actually walk through there. We probably will in the future. All these question marks are undiscovered locations. We can also see there is another outpost over here. So this is that's post number 7. Does it say what post we are currently in? Hold on. Outpost. Hold on. Oops. Oop. Zoom in a bit more. That's post 6. So this is outpost 6. We are now in. That's 7. This is 8, which means there are at least 8 of these outposts. This is outpost number 9. 10. Okay, well, that means we got a lot. 5 and 1. Let's see. So we have 5, 4, and 1. And 3. So we're missing a lot of outposts, which are most likely in this black area. So the map is actually larger than what we can see right now. Let's get inside for the next step of the so-called tutorial. Let's see what they want us to do. Okay, I think we need to put those flyers on the table. Wasn't that the point? Or maybe on the desk over there? Looks like this is where the water boss should go. Yes.
Fantastic. That tower should have everything it needs now. How's the view from up there? It's great to have a hunter like yourself around. I'm grateful for your help with the supplies. I can't wait to hear your Silver Ridge hunting stories. Things have been quiet here recently. But with a hunter of your caliber on the reserve, we're going to show folks that this is still the best place in the Rockies to hunt. Plus, you're not the only one working with us. We were able to convince Remy Warren to visit, and he's been logging his solo hunts out here for a week or so.
Wait, does that mean...
He's got a pretty decent following online, so hopefully he's impressed with the reserve. When I proposed using social media to promote the reserve, the board were a little hesitant. But they're giving us a chance to try something new, and I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Oh, we got some cash reward. 1,000, whatever it is. And a new mission.
So I suppose you were wondering why I wanted you to grab the flyers, right? There are people who come out here just to visit the lake. I'm fine with people standing on the shore, but until we know exactly what's going on, we need to keep people out of it. I had these flyers made up so we can pin them to our bulletin boards. There's a trail that leads straight to the lake, so I'd like you to pin up one of these flyers at the trailhead. Now, the flyers cover the basics: heavy metals, mining waste, and why to avoid diving in. It's not much, but until we know more, it's all we have. The lake is beautiful, and it's always pulled in visitors. It still looks the same as it ever did. Maybe even better, now that it's calm and peaceful. But now, I can't look at it without seeing what it did to my dad, or what it's doing to the reserve. People discover that we have one contaminated lake and assume that the reserve isn't worth visiting anymore. So far, the local wildlife seems okay, but our bookings for visitors, and especially hunters, have dried up. I have a few contingency plans that I want to try out. I'm a little nervous, though, as our board can be a little conservative. And if my ideas don't involve pulling in hunters, it can be really tricky to get them on board.
So the next step in our, what I call tutorial, is going to the lake and...
It was easier to convince the board to invite yourself and Remy
Sorry.
into the reserve, given that you're both hunters with good reputations. I'm glad you said yes.
Okay, so the first part, the next section in our tutorial is going to the lake and posting those flyers stating that the lake is currently poisonous, which isn't a very good thing to... Oh, okay, basic navigation, yes, okay. We can indeed auto-move, which means that now I only need to steer and I do not need to... Okay, am I running or am I walking? I'm not sure about now. I think we are walking. That gets a bit faster now, I must say. Well, anyway, that is indeed the next part of the mission. What he was saying about the other hunter that was here, I just said we do not meet other humans. I'm not quite sure in this particular DLC and storyline if we are going to be meeting hunter. No, we are indeed running. Okay, we need to stop a bit. Hold on. Get my breath back. Okay. The hunter map is used as a mini-map. You can also show the currently active mission. Okay, let's put them up. Okay. I am confused, however, that you either have this thing in your hand, or you have a gun in your hand, or you have a binoculars in your hand, or you have a gun in your hand, or a camera. But there is no... I haven't found a particular mode where you do not have anything in your hand. Which is a bit weird. I have to look that up if that is a possibility. But it is a mini-map. By the way, we cannot zoom in and out on that map. At least, not what I think. No, we do not seem to be able to be zooming out. Hello, what is this? Tracking mission will display the current vehicle on your huntermate. Highlighting any known mission areas. You can view all your current acquired mission log. Yes, I know that. Okay. Oh. We need to follow a different route. To follow the trailhead. As I said, it would be nice if you would actually be able to zoom in and out on that hunter map, which we are currently have. Oh, I think that is the board where you have to put on the flyers. The lake was over there as far as I thought I saw. But it would seem that we need to post the flyers over here. Let's do that. Do we need to go to the other side? Oh, there's a, oh, that was the back side, okay.
One down, one to go. Keep following the trail to the lake.
Warning, contaminated water. This water has been tested and found to exceed standards for uranium contents. Exposure may cause illness. Do not drink, do not swim, and bring your own water supply. And there is... Oh, that's a phone number. I thought that was actually a date, but... Is there a date actually on one of these flyers? I don't think there is. It
Hey,
also...
nothing wrong with a bit of light exercise. But don't forget that if I can hear you breathing, then the animals certainly will. Hunting is a marathon, not a sprint.
Ah, so that is the downside of running. Got it. Well, as I was just saying, there is no "you are here" on this map, which I had on the other map, by the way. Okay, well in that case, let's head to the other signpost. Can we? Okay. Let's see what happens if we do indeed run. So the animals can hear me breathing, but since we're not hunting them right now, there is no real problem with that. However, if you are making a lot of noise constantly and scare animals away also by shooting them, you can actually have a situation where animals will avoid
You'll
a
need to get
particular...
well acquainted with the dirt if you want to cut the distance between yourself and an animal. Stay low, stay calm, and make your approach.
So if you actually, if the animals are aware of your situation, of your presence, by making a lot of noise, as I said, by shooting them and so forth, they will stay away from a particular area, which is just... Oh, well, hold on. Map. Give me the map. Why can I... Oh, sorry. Oh, we keep walking, by the way. Well, anyway, we just found out on the area, where was it? All those tracks over here, like these things over here. So this is the feed zone, the need zone of one of those animals. So if we make too much noise over here, if we keep shooting animals over here, that
Take a look at the water.
zone
If
will
I hadn't told
actually
you, would you suspect that the lake was dangerous?
disappear. Okay, we are at the lake. So that is the reason why you should, of course, not make too much noise. Even when you are not hunting. Okay. We already knew that, so we can press and hold the item wheel. We can have a gun, which is a rifle of what I think it is. Yes. Which is a shotgun, a pistol, the binoculars we already saw. We have a collar, a deer collar, a deer bleed collar. This is probably for ducks. Oh no, hold on. Red fox, jackal, gray fox, lion. Oh, this is for all areas, of course, because there are probably no lions on this area. And a scent eliminator. It doesn't say what that does. Probably to remove the scent. Oh, yeah. See, we can't actually choose a empty spot and then have nothing in our hand. We have to have something in our hands. So we can actually have the pistol, which we can use the left trigger to aim, and then we'll use the right trigger to shoot. We also have, and that is something I want to do right now, as I said earlier, our binoculars. Is there a... Oh, that's just a rock. I thought it was a creature over there. What we call this lake also... Oh, hello. I was just saying. This... Can we make a photograph? Is that possible? This lake is also probably a drinking spot for animals. Apparently animals do not have any negative impact when it
I
comes
start
to...
glassing as soon as I get the opportunity, preferably from a high vantage point. It might give you an idea where to look, or could even reveal your next target.
What I wanted to do is... Hold on, which one was it? That's my hunters. Can I... No, hold on. Oh! Now I have nothing in my hands. Okay, so by rotating through... Okay. Use left trigger. Okay. Okay, but I wanted to actually is... No, 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 no. What I wanted to do is... What was the button for the camera? No, that is the... Oh. I was just whistling. I have to find out what is the correct button for the camera. Lure? No, what is the... I just had a camera with me, but... How do I do that? Okay, I had... Hold on. So I had the binoculars. Pressing the left bumper gives me the hunter mate. Pressing left bumper again. Nothing. Binoculars, so... If I press the... No, that's... Nope. What is the correct button for the camera? I just had the camera. Was it this button? No. No. Must not be that button. Was it this button? No. I do not know what button it was. A is jumping, which I'm not going to... Or stand up. Which I'm not going to do. See? That's jumping. Now, B is crouching or going even lower than that. Y is nothing. X is activation. Oh, here we are. Camera, here we are. Oh, press and hold. Okay. Okay, okay. Can I now... Oh, Okay. But I can't zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in. Sorry. But now the... Are they still there? Hold on. Yep, he's still there. Can I zoom in even further than that? Yes, I can. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, I've taken a screenshot, but I do not see the benefit of that. Okay, so. Let's go to the signpost.
We might not be able to monitor the lake 24/7, but at least now people have been warned. Thanks for taking care of that. It's such a strange feeling to be publicizing the very issue that is hurting us at the moment. I know it's the responsible thing to do, but it still feels slightly like self-sabotage. Our summer season has already started, and normally this whole area would be covered with hikers. I've only seen a handful of people in the reserve recently. I'm sure that things will pick up eventually. But every day, I'm reminded that my dad was the major driving force behind this place. It's just bad timing, I suppose. We'd had some other issues with one of the board members, but that's in the past. The best thing to do is to keep pushing forward. I've got some big plans to help turn things around. Who knows? Maybe we'll have this place at full strength by the time my dad gets back in the saddle. I'm talking a lot about family stuff, aren't I? I suppose work and family are the same thing for me, you know? I've been watching my dad do this job since I was a kid. Let's change the subject, shall we? I've got a job that I'd like you to take care of. The big plans I mentioned before? One of these plans is a little passion project of mine. We're gonna need some gear. Rappelling gear, actually. I have stashed a few bags at one of the nearby outposts. and I'd like you to head over there and pick them up, when you can.
Hold on.
I've been doing adventure sports for about 10 years or so now.
What outpost?
It started with bouldering and rock climbing while I was on a high school trip.
Probably this.
Last year, I got an accreditation as an instructor, and I was planning on teaching classes. When my dad got ill, I put it on the back burner. But now, I think we have a good opportunity to commit to it.
Holy tofu. 1.59 kilometers.
Unfortunately, I'm a little too busy to teach classes just now. But one of my base jumping friends, Sammy, took the same course as me, so she's gonna lead the class instead.
That's a long hike. And I didn't bring the car. But at least we now know we do not have to have something in our hands. We can actually just have this. We can't swim in this game as far as I know. We can walk through some water, but we
Stalking
can't
an
swim.
animal is an imitation game, so I always pack my collars. Give it a reason to come to you.
Wait, why is there a light? Oh, okay. Oh! There's the bisons. They're very close, actually. Extremely close. I was not aware. Oh, there are bison. There are more bisons over there. Hold on, let me get down. Okay. Can I shoot them? Yes, I could. Will I shoot them now? No, I won't. Not right now. Not right now. Because, besides, I do not think... let's see, F1, wasn't it? Okay, hold on, F1. So... the codex. Let's see, that was the wildlife. So we had, what was it? It was the... not the Cape Buffalo, it was, what was it? It was a bison, wasn't it? Hold on. It was also not on the European bison. What was it? Let's see if I can find it, what it was. Not a mule deer, but I think it was a plains bison. So here are plains bison. They're calm, they're confident, but aggressive when threatened. So that is one of the reasons I'm not going to shoot them. Grassland, wetlands, shrubland, and sparse woods. They have poor eyesight, excellent sense of smell. They are socials. Their difficulty is very hard to shoot. Recommended equipment is a class 9 ammo. I probably do not have the correct ammo for this particular animal. Let me quickly take a look. Recommended classes, we can see over there. So recommended classes is classes 2 to 6. The bison was a class 9. It doesn't mean we can actually take the bison out, but it's going to be extremely difficult with that gun, including this gun. I'm not quite sure, I can't really see what kind of ammo we have currently in our weapon. But either this gun is not efficient for shooting down the bison, or the ammo isn't, or both isn't. And the pistol, I'm not going to even try to take down a buffalo with a pistol. Especially not a buffalo which is running in a pack. But they're all gone. Although what I do know, of course, now, and here are the tracks, and that's not really a surprise, but the track is a plains bison. He was running. It was level 9, so you can see over there, it's a plains bison level 9, and that is not something I can do. And yes, that is a direction indeed, yes. Oh, hold up. Read more. Oh, okay. Okay, this is the codex for... Right. Let me quickly look if I was correct when it came to scent. No, that's not what I meant. Your scent travels with the wind and can alarm animals if they sense it. Your scent spreads differently depending on the wind's behavior. If wind is strong, the scent will be carried far. Narrow along the wind's direction. If the wind is not strong, the scent will not... Okay. Oh, and that is where you have the scent eliminator. What I do want to know, however, is... Oh, heart rate. What does that mean? Let's see. But if you move around, your heart rate will increase. If you remain still, it will be normal level. Your heart rate is indicated. Yes, we knew that. An elevated heart rate will increase your aim wobble. You can hold your breath temporarily and steady your aim, but your heart rate will continue to rise. At a certain point, your heart rate will be too high to continue holding your breath, and you will lose steady aim. Okay, so you're not going to get a heart attack by running, but you will not be able to shoot. What I want to know is information about the wind direction. Is that also available over here in the codex? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, let's see. Wind is ever present in the wild. You can affect you in several ways. It generates ambient noise, which, if loud enough, can mask the noise you're making. Wind also carries a scent, making it important to keep track of which direction it's blowing in. Avoid approaching animals. Well, I knew that. I knew that, of course. Oh, here we are. You can identify which way the wind is blowing by looking at the cone indicator. Okay, so I was correct. The cone indicator suggests where the wind is blowing to, not blowing from. So once again, it is now blowing in the wind is now at my back, so my scent is now blowing forward. Which means all the animals over here in this area are going to smell me. Subsequently, if I do it like this, now the wind is blowing in my face. Animals will not be able to smell me, or maybe hear my sound even. Let's test that out. So if I walk this, well, it do make a lot of sound. If I walk this way, I don't think there's anything we can see when it comes to our sound indicator. So the codex is very useful. I keep learning more and more about this game, by the way. I've been trying the game out a little bit before we started this stream and this recording. But I keep learning things. Especially when it just said I did not know we can actually have our hands clear. While I'm walking through these reeds, you can see on the symbol, the one between the heart and the speaker, that I am quite hidden. So this will also help when you're hunting animals. Try to keep behind foliage. These are all things and track tips. Okay, so
Even a black bear won't take on a fully grown bison lightly. They're awesome creatures, and you should treat them with respect if you want to live to tell the tale.
So here we are, the plains bison. one of the two subspecies of American bison, the biggest land mammal of North America. They are massive animals with mature adults measuring up to 185 centimeters at the shoulder and weighing between 400 and 1,000 kilograms, which is a lot for those of you who are not aware of kilograms. A normal human weighs, and I'm talking about not an American human, a normal human weighs around between 80 and 70 kilograms. An American can weigh a little bit more. Sorry about that, but don't fret. My weight is 106 at the moment, 106 kilogram, which is too much. But so a bison can weigh almost more than 10 times a human. And with 185 centimeters, which is more than 6 feet for those working with feet. As I said, one of the reasons I did not try to shoot the bison, my gear is not suitable for shooting now a bison. And
one thing I've learned the hard way is that if you can hear yourself shuffling around, so can your prey. Use the brush to conceal yourself, but don't rely on it to get close.
Oh, I think there are, again, bisons over there. So that means... Hold up. Let me get... No, not a gun. Get my binoculars. Why am not... Oh. Why am I not using my binoculars? That's weird. Oh, select A. Okay. What's going on? Why am I not using my binoculars? Select. Sorry, this is weird. I should be using my binoculars, but I do not use my binoculars at the moment. What's wrong? This is odd. Did I press a button I was not supposed to press? Hold on. That's the camera. Oh, well, I can still use the camera, but I was actually hoping to use... Oh, I did not know that you can actually use the camera in portraits. Okay, but I was actually... Ah, okay. I'm not quite sure what happened, but... It says calm very easy. Maybe it's very easy because it is calm. But it's still level 9. Anyway, what does this mean? It means that I know now that they use that particular lake to drink. And you can also, I'm not sure how I do that, look at the time to see at what particular time of day they are drinking. Now I haven't figured out now yet how to use a watch if I have a watch. How I can actually use that.
You keeping quiet out here? Don't give a bear or bison any reason to come find you. You might not live to tell the tale.
Well, as far as I know, the bisons are fleeing. So I should... No, these are bison tracks. So I shouldn't be too worried about bisons. Bears? I haven't encountered a bear yet. I didn't hear a bear either. Not quite sure if they are around here. They might come down to the lake to drink. Now the voice of the tutorial, of course, is giving me those tips and hints, thinking I am actually currently hunting, which I am not. I will, in the future, actually be hunting, as I mentioned before. But for now, I am not. Can you die in this game? Oh, I tried that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh.
I'm sure that you don't need me to tell you this, but I hope you're not thinking of shooting anything with your heart pounding like that. Take a breather. Your prey will thank you for it.
See, that's what I meant. He automatically thinks I am currently on a hunting, which I'm not. Okay. Bisons come from those woods, apparently. What I was saying, yeah, you can die in this game. I have tried it out by simply jumping from one of those outposts, one of those watchtowers. When you die, you return to the last claimed location. So you do need to have to, it's not a YOLO game. But it doesn't make a good simulation, of course, if you keep jumping. That was a mule deer. .9 kilometers. Okay. Let's see now. What was the button to actually... Oh. That was not the button I meant. Wasn't it this button? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, this is a pistol. Oh, we can walk around with a pistol. I keep forgetting how to actually... Shotgun, rifle, and the scent, the lure. No, I keep forgetting how to actually have nothing in my hand. I keep forgetting the... Yeah, and now we have the binoculars again. Okay, we'll keep the binoculars for now, although, hold on. Wasn't it? Oh, okay. It was a long press on the bumper. And short press on the bumper is going to bring back... Oh, I thought the hunter's mate, but... It is probably selected, but it's not activated. Right, I'm gonna walk through this next area, which is the next outpost. I'm gonna claim it. And we're gonna hold the video from there. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to me continue on this game through gameplay. I will make a few other videos. Let me know if you enjoy this. Let me know if you want me to go to other areas as well, or I would rather actually continue on this location for now.
The pronghorn is the fastest land mammal in North America. They're not as sensitive to noise as some of the other animals in the reserve, but they trust their eyes, so stay down and hidden to prevent them from bolting.
Okay, what's the difficulty, by the way? Average. Oh, level 3. So, with my current ammunition and weapons, I might be able to take one down. Once again, not my plan for this particular game playthrough today. Yes, I will start shooting animals, killing animals in the future, but... what happened? Well, good question. What happened was I have entered a new area of the map. The Bending Forest. So we are supposed to be going over there. And it will open up things. Let's see, post 1, we already saw that one. So we're heading to this location over here in the area Bending Forest. We came from Lake Prospect. We haven't looked at all the things, but we did do that. We haven't activated this outpost, the Plains Bison outpost. Although, really? Hold on. We did use this one because the bisons were over here. Why is this white? No, we took this. We actually activated this. Oh, okay, hold on. Everything you have located, of course, is white. Yeah, so, yeah, we activated this outpost, but not this outpost. And here on the map, you can actually see this indication. So, we now know that the plains bison use these locations to drink. So, if I want to go hunting for the plains bison, oh, here we see, between 8 and 12 a.m. This is where they start drinking. So, if I want to hunt a plains bison, I need to be in this location between 8 and 12 to make the best chance of me. Oh, no, 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 no. Of me actually finding one. Okay, now I'm once again have nothing in my hands. I really have to figure out how this works. Because having nothing in my hand was actually what I was intended to do. So in a nutshell, that is how the game works. You investigate the area, listen to sounds. These are the turkey. It's a mating call. It's approximately between 160 and 220 meters away from me. It's probably gonna take off as soon as it finds out I'm heading towards it. That could be the sounds I'm hearing. But all that information is going to be stay on the map, which is going to help me later on when I'm actually going to do the actual hunting. Although I'm quite certain that my first hunting experience is not going to be taking out a bear or a bison. I should probably need better... See, it's fleeing. I should probably need better gear for that. See? Animals have warning calls. And as I mentioned before, as we are not hunting now, it's not really a problem. Although animals can be warned that there is a lot of noise, and if you do that a lot of times, it's gonna not come back to this area. What is this? Oh, I just started fleeing. What is this? A feed zone. So we now know that the Miriam turkey is eating on this area around also between the same time 8 and 12 in the morning. So that is also going to be a marker on the map, and this most likely is also an eating zone.
Wild turkeys are nothing like their domestic cousins. They're fast, agile, and can even fly short distances when spooked. You might not have much luck stalking these birds, so try using a turkey caller to get them to come to you.
The Merriam turkey. Native to North America, and turkey hunting is big all across the continent. Turkeys are roaming animals and are known to be able to fly around 400 meters in a single go, which is not that far actually. Known to be very unpredictable, extremely easy to spook. Males are called jakes, gobblers or toms, where the female is called a Jenny. What was that sound? The pronghorn. warning. Warning about me. Okay, it's a long hike, but we are now less than 500 meters away. So bear with me. Talking about bears, I haven't met a bear yet. It's probably on a different area of the map, because it's quite a difficult animal. It's probably not in the first several areas of the map. So, okay. Animals can be scared if they hear you. Fleeing animals will run until they feel safe. They will remain vigilant for a period of time afterwards. Hide in a sense. So that is also a point. Not only will they stay away from areas, they will stay away from you for a long time. They will return when they find out that there's nothing to fear anymore. Ooh, we got a lot of tracks. Oops, the bisons again. There are the bisons again. We're heading the same way as the bisons, by the way. What have we here? A drinking zone? What, for the... over here? Oh, there's also a lake over here, it would seem. Ah, okay. Okay, let's see if we can actually get a wide berth around these bisons. I do not want to make them give the impression that I am actually hunting them, because they are in a group. They could have young with them, and they're actually heading the same way I'm heading, which is not a good sign. Maybe they'll change their direction. Will a bison attack me? Well, the codex suggested that it's not impossible they could. Especially, as I said, when they have young. Now, as far as I know, in general, animals are not likely to attack humans just for fun or to eat. Maybe a lion would, but I don't think we have much to fear for lions being around this area. Maybe a mountain lion, but as we're not on a mountain, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. Where are the bison at the moment? They were heading in the same direction generally. But now I seem to have lost them. Did I pass them by? I no longer see them. Oh, there they are. They're heading over that side of the hill, so they changed their direction. We find some more tracks heading in my direction. What are these animals? The bisons. Okay, so they move through here. Weird how plains bison actually go up a hill. Oh well. Okay, we are nearly there. On top of this ledge. What exact? Oh, that was an outpost, wasn't it? There it is. Question mark is, of course, an undiscovered. That is actually the flagpole.
The gear is in here. I packed it into a couple of backpacks. It shouldn't be too heavy.
Let's first claim the outpost. Oh, there is a fast travel. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I can fast travel between outposts or other locations, but at least we have a fast travel option. We can equip a kennel and a dog and so forth. I'm not going to do that right now.
Bit of advice, I try to time my sleep so I'm awake at the same time as whatever I'm hunting. Yeah, my sleep pattern's a little off, but that's a small price to pay to bag that perfect buck.
Rent a room from an outpost, lodge to rest. Resting will pass time and restore full health. Okay.
You got everything? There's a good rock face nearby that Sammy can use to teach her beginners. If I recall correctly, you also have some mountain climbing experience. I get it. Those mountain goats aren't easy to catch. There's some good anchoring points at the top of the rock face. If you can get those ropes nice and secure, it'll save Sammy some time and help the class.
Okay, our next point where we need to go, and let's check it on the map, is over there, which is a undiscovered point of interest. It takes 12 minutes on foot. I'm not going to go there right now, as I mentioned earlier. I am going to hold the stream and the video over here. Once again, tell me what you think. I really like the game. Oh, hello. I didn't actually see that first. What is this? Oh, that is of course the way the buffaloes were going, and this is the... Oh, and the hunting opportunity was over here. I never saw that before. And the plains bison drink here. Yes. N? What is N? I'm sorry, what does N mean? N. What does N mean? It's... Oh, that's weird. I don't see it on the legend. That's odd. I don't see the letter N appearing on there. There is a need zone for the turkey. Yeah, we just walk past that. Drinking area for the bisons. Yes, and this is a... I think this is the way the bisons like to walk. And as I said, our next point where we need to go is over there. I'm not quite sure if we're actually going to be meeting that other hunter, but who knows. Okay, we have some challenges. Let's see. Oh, we have some daily challenges, and okay, but they are... I see, yes. Pass the harvest check. Yeah, okay. We'll do that later. That is interesting, by the way. So you actually get events. I wasn't aware of that. We have the trophy lodges, as I mentioned, so we actually can buy these. These are, as far as I know, included in the DLC. So this is a large area, the Spring Creek Manor. You do not own any lodges. I do not want to own lodges at the moment. None of your friends' lodges are currently able to visit. Okay, I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. Perks. Let me quickly take a quick look at the perks. I have a skill point, but not a perk at the moment. So let's go to skill. Okay, so what do we have here? We currently have one skill point available. Stalker or ambush. I'm not quite sure what these mean. Let's see. You know, let's just... Okay, let's use Stalker. So let's press A. Okay, locate tracks. The directional tracking cone becomes more accurate and narrower, both the world and on the map. Yes, increase the distance at which tracks are visible and highlighted. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So, and... Ambusher is... Scent Tinkerer. Not satisfied with performance of the scent lures in the store. No, I think we could use Stalker. That might be an idea. Okay, so we can select that. So level 2 will increase the distance in which tracks are visible and highlighted, and level 3, directional tracking cone is now even narrow, and tracks can be detected even farther away. Okay, let's use that. Let's buy that skill. Does it actually... Oh, you have to pay to reset the skills. Okay, inventory, what do I have at the moment? Okay, now I can actually see what I have. These are the ammo I have. A soft point bullet for the rifle. I have a ranger as a rifle, a focus, which is, oh, these numbers indicate the numbers on the keyboard which I can use. Oh, hello, there's a hotkey. This right bumper is the hot, so we can we change that? Can we change the hotkey? Yes, we can. We can change the hotkey. I think I can. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Can we change hotkeys? So if we have 9, yes, yes, we can actually change the entire hotkeys. I was not aware of that. And probably we can change the wheel as well. Let me take a quick look if that is the case. Hold on. So let's say we have the binoculars. Yes, we can actually move the binoculars to, let's say, hold up. We can over here. Oh, so move. Yes. Okay. So once again, we learn another new option. We can actually completely change this. Although I would like to know how we can change having nothing in my hand. But that is something we need to figure out in a later stage. Once again, if you like this, leave me a message after the in this video, and if you have any tips, suggestions, don't hesitate. I enjoyed this game. I hope you do too. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you very soon. Thank you very much, and bye bye.
Oh, the car.